It was the eve of Thanksgiving, 1971. A man dressed in black boarded a Boeing 727 with nothing more than a briefcase and a name no one would ever forget. He was silent, calm, almost invisible among the holiday travelers. Yet behind his dark glasses and measured voice, there was something unnerving. Something that would soon turn an ordinary flight into one of the most chilling mysteries in American history. Within hours, routine gave way to dread. A flight through the night, stitched with fear, shadows, and a storm that seemed to conspire with him. And then, nothing. No answers, only questions that echo through time. Who was he? Where did he go? And why does the truth remain buried more than 50 years later? Tonight, we descend into the darkness of a case that defies reason, a mystery that refuses to die, the chilling legend of a man known only as D.B. Cooper.
The stair door slammed, beating like a loose drum against the night. The storm welcomed the intrusion, lashing harder, punishing metal and man alike. Cooper stepped down each stair with the serenity of someone walking into his own legend. 10,000 feet. Freezing rain. A moonless void where even sound seemed afraid to linger. And then he jumped. For a moment, there was shape. A man. A parachute. A suitcase of money. Then the black consumed it all. The roar of the storm reclaimed its silence. The Boeing 727 pressed on, lighter by one soul, heavier by an immortal mystery. The stairway flapped violently, then closed under strain. The pressure stabilized. The crew exhaled shakily, hearts hammering in the vacuum Cooper left behind. Somewhere in the forests below, perhaps a man was falling to his death. Or perhaps a man was writing the first chapter of a life lived forever in the shadows. No one knew. The passengers stirred, some waking from sleep, oblivious to the vanishing that had just torn through the night sky. They asked for water. They shifted in their seats. They sighed impatiently. The crew, pale and silent, obeyed their requests, carrying secrets stitched to their skin. And then, silence. He was gone. The forests of Washington swallowed the night whole. Pines rose like spears against the storm, their branches bending under rain and wind. Somewhere beneath them, a man had fallen or disappeared. And above, the Boeing 727 roared onward, lighter by one passenger, heavier by a legend. The moment the plane touched down in Seattle, the hunt began. Sirens wailed in distant towns. Telephones shrieked in FBI offices, and radios crackled with frantic voices. An army of men was unleashed into the wilderness. Soldiers, police, federal agents, rangers. Boots churned through mud. Helicopter blades carved the sky into violent pieces. Dogs strained at leashes, howling into the trees as if the darkness itself were guilty. They combed the forests mile by mile. They dragged rivers, probed ravines, climbed ridges slick with moss and rain. Floodlights cut through the night, but every beam only revealed more emptiness. Every sound, branches cracking, owls calling, mocked them with the possibility of being something more. They found footprints that ended in mud, impressions that faded like smoke. They found deer trails, beer cans, and silence. But they did not find Dan Cooper. The FBI worked like surgeons dissecting the impossible. They mapped the flight path in red ink, measured wind speeds, calculated the distance of the jump. They argued over probabilities. Had he landed in water, broken against rocks, tangled in trees? Had the storm devoured him, scattering his body like dust? Logic whispered that no man could survive such a fall, and yet there was no body. The absence was more terrifying than confirmation. If he had died, the forest should have spoken. Parachute fabric snagged on branches, a skeleton gnawed by animals, bills of ransom scattered like dead leaves. But the wilderness remained mute. Cooper had leapt into the abyss, and the abyss had kept him. Weeks bled into months. Helicopters dwindled. Soldiers left. Dogs returned to kennels, restless with failure. But the FBI remained. They opened what they called Norjack, the Northwest hijacking case. Inside filing cabinets, Cooper became a ghost with a dossier. Witness statements, sketches, receipts, maps. Every page smelled of ink and defeat. Interviews stretched across states. Former paratroopers, ex-cons, drifters, anyone who had once folded a parachute or spent cash too quickly. Men were dragged from homes, their faces measured against the sketch. Narrow tie, sunglasses, raincoat. Too many resembled him. Too many could be him. Still, the trail dissolved. Cooper had left no fingerprints, no slip of tongue, no flaw. He had been a phantom boarding a plane and remained a phantom in the woods. The FBI, proud of catching killers and spies, found themselves staring into an empty file, and the world began to whisper. Newspapers spun theories like cobwebs. Some said he drowned in the Columbia River, bones buried in its mud. Others said he limped out of the forest, wounded but alive, disappearing into small towns where no one asked questions. Others believed he was military, trained, waiting all his life for this moment. But one truth was harder than all the others. Despite armies of men, endless hours, and maps crisscrossed with ink, there was nothing. The manhunt had become a shadow, chasing a shadow. And through it all, Dan Cooper's calm lingered like frost. Not rage, not panic, just absence, colder, sharper, more terrifying than any scream.